What's up everybody, Stephen Ward here with Neural DSP, and today I want to show you how you can take components of the new Archetype Plini amp sim to push the tone of your existing Neural DSP plugins. Let's dig in. One of my favorite aspects of these plugins is that you get to turn on and off any component within the plugin, which means you get to mix and match freely whatever you want. So I'm going to run you through a couple of examples of ways that I would use this. So this is a piece I wrote recently, and I ended up using Fortin Nameless on all the channels because I really like the tone of the Nameless on this particular song. So the first section is a little bit more djenty, a little bit more percussive. The second section's a little bit more chordal, a little low gain. Both sections have a lead guitar going over. So we'll take a look at the original tones in context, and then I'll break down each channel individually. So the rhythm guitars in the first section are a slight variant on Ola England's preset I Can't Play That Song that came free with the version 2.0 of the Nameless suite. Now in his preset, he uses the grind pedal. I like the sound of the hex drive because it has a little bit more mid-forward kind of tone to it, whereas the grind's a little bit brighter. After that, I made a couple of EQ changes, and then I left the impulse section alone because I really like the sound of the 121 and the 906 together. All right, so let's take a look at the lead channel now. And again, I made a couple of EQ changes. I left the hex drive on instead of the grind, and then I left the impulse responses the same. So the rhythm guitars in the second section, a little bit more low gain, kind of throaty sound. I wanted something that was warm, that would really fill the space of the second section because it's the climax of the song. So this is a preset that I made because I wanted something that was a little bit more low gain. I turned off the hex drive, I pulled the MVC button out, and I kept the amp on low gain. For the impulse responses, I chose the dynamic 57 and the condenser 184, and I really like the way that that tone turned out. And then finally, the lead for the second section isn't that much different than the first section's lead. I only changed the amp from low gain to high gain, so that way I could get a little extra push out of the second gain knob. So now let's take a listen to the tones I was able to get with the Archetype Plini amp sim, and I'll switch back and forth between the tones so you can compare and contrast the two. So let's take a listen to the new rhythms, and again I'm going to compare and contrast between the old tone and the new tone. So basically what I did is I opened up Fortin Nameless Suite, and I disengaged all the impulse response in there, and then opened up Archetype Plini afterwards and disengaged the head in this one. And this allows me to take advantage of one of my favorite aspects of this specific plugin is the EQ section. I absolutely love the amount of control that this EQ gives you over your tone. And then we get to the rhythm guitars of the second section. What I did is I opened up an instance of Archetype Plini beforehand. I turned on the compressor and the overdrive and turned off everything afterwards so that way I could have the pedals feeding into the Nameless suite. And then we listen to the lead tone comparison. And what I did with the rhythm guitars of the second section, I did the same thing with the leads. I used the compressor and the overdrive pedals before the chain, and then I used the Archetype Plini to finish it off, do some EQs, and then the delay and reverb afterwards, because those sound so fantastic. Overall, I really like the tones that I got from experimenting with different components of the Archetype Plini amp sim, but I think the main takeaway from this is the absolute functionality and versatility of these plugins. Being able to use any one specific component independent of the rest really makes one plugin become many. And at that point, you're only limited by your own creativity. You can use the EQ section on your strings. You could use the reverb and the delay in your vocal chain. You could use the heavy saturation of some of the overdrive pedals to make some post-production work. Or you could have sends over to the EQ and reverb so you can make your own parallel drum room. At a certain point, the sky's the limit, and I know that I'm personally going to be experimenting with these aspects a lot in the future. Thank you so much for checking out the video. Links for all these products will be in the description down below. So please, like, share, and subscribe, and comment down below. I want to hear back from you. Let me know what you think of the tones that I got, and let me know what components you're going to be using in your mix from now on. Again, thank you so much, and I'll see you in that next video.